The sun scorches the wide valleys and dusty plazas of early 1820s California, a land of sprawling haciendas and ancient missions, where the rule of law has long been forgotten. The governor, Alvarado, a man whose greed is matched only by his malice, wields power like a whip. His officers, Captain Ramon and Sergeant Gonzalez, enforce his tyranny, seizing land, punishing the innocent, and reveling in cruelty. The cries of the oppressed echo faintly across the sun-baked hills, unheard by the rulers, swallowed by the silence of fear. But a different sound begins to travel on the winds, subtle at first, whispered from village to village, a name carried in awe and terror alike. Zorro, the masked avenger who strikes swiftly, leaving his mark in 3 scarlet slashes, a Zed carved into wood, stone, or flesh as a warning to tyrants and a promise to the helpless. He moves unseen, leaving behind justice where there was none, humiliating soldiers with playful audacity, returning stolen wealth to the oppressed. Zorro is more than a man. He is legend, an idea that sparks courage in the hearts of the fearful. Into this land of oppression returns Don Diego Vega, son of the wealthy and powerful Don Alejandro Vega. Years in Spain have left him polished and educated, yet the young man who steps off the ship is a startling contrast to the fiery air his father expected. Diego is delicate, effete, and seemingly timid, a languid poet, a musician, a man repelled by violence, obsessed with lace, music, and philosophy. He recoils at the sight of a sword and shudders at even whispered threats. Don Alejandro is incensed. He had imagined his son as a leader, a force to challenge Alvarado's corruption. Instead, he has returned a dilettante whose greatest concerns seem to be shadows on walls and the comfort of leisure. Determined to spur him into action, Don Alejandro insists that Diego court Lolita Pulido, the spirited daughter of the once wealthy Don Carlos Pulido. The Pulido family has been systematically stripped of its wealth and influence by Alvarado's schemes. Diego approaches, timid and seemingly uninterested, while Lolita's fiery spirit bristles at his apparent cowardice. To her, he is dull, incapable of courage, a man unsuited to her standards of heroism. Yet unbeknownst to all, the man she scorns is the very champion who roams the night, the masked Zorro. Diego's secret is guarded by Bernardo, his loyal mute servant. To the world, Diego is a fop, but behind closed doors, he dons the black cloak and mask of Zorro, trading silk for shadow and loot for rapier. Through this guise, he observes the city, learns its routines, and strikes with precision. Each night, Zorro leaves his mark, the Zed that announces both defiance and hope. The tension between Diego's 2 lives unfolds with delicate complexity. By day, he feigns cowardice, avoiding conflict and flaunting his supposed weaknesses. By night, he is fearless, swift, and audacious. He moves through the streets confronting soldiers, freeing prisoners, and humbling the governor's men. The alcalde and his officers, increasingly desperate, lay traps and patrol relentlessly, yet each plan is deftly circumvented. Zorro's cunning ensures that every strike is effective, every escape theatrical, and every appearance a spectacle of audacity. The romance with Lolita develops alongside these daring exploits. Though initially scornful of the foppish Diego, she is captivated by the masked hero who saves her family, challenges the governor's authority, and fights with elegance and courage. Their stolen moments are charged with tension and mutual admiration, a delicate dance of attraction interwoven with the perilous backdrop of tyranny. Diego must navigate the duality of his identity, concealing his true self while pursuing her trust and affection. Captain Ramon, cold and calculating, recognizes the threat Zorro poses to Alvarado's authority. He lays traps, publicly issues threats, and attempts to draw the masked man into confrontation. When Don Carlos Pulido is arrested on false charges, Zorro acts decisively. He rescues the prisoners, humbles Alvarado's officers, and demonstrates once again that tyranny cannot stand against the cunning and skill of the fox. The conflict escalates. Don Alejandro gathers the most powerful caballeros of the region, men reluctant to challenge the governor. Zorro arrives, confronting them, scolding their complacency, and inspiring courage. The caballeros, shamed and stirred by his words, pledge themselves to his cause. Their first mission is the rescue of the Pulido family. Barracks are stormed, prison doors broken down, and Don Carlos and his wife are freed. Yet Captain Ramon's cunning remains. He abducts Lolita, using her as bait to lure Zorro into a decisive trap at the Vega estate. The stage is set for the final confrontation. Alvarado, Ramon, and Gonzalez await at the Vega hacienda, confident they will finally capture the fox. Don Diego, however, sheds his effete facade. The languid poet disappears, replaced by a figure of controlled power, eyes blazing with unanticipated courage. He draws his sword, the steel glinting in the moonlight. "You seek Zorro," he declares, voice commanding, resonant. "You have found him." Shock ripples through the assembled officers and the governor. Don Alejandro stands stunned. Lolita gasps, realizing that the cowardly fop and the hero she loves are one. Captain Ramon's fury boils, but Zorro moves with unmatched speed and precision. The duel is dazzling. Blade clashes with blade, sparks flying, the dance of justice swift and unerring. Zorro disarms Ramon, defeats the symbols of oppression, and reveals his mastery not just of the sword, but of courage itself. The assembled soldiers witness a man transformed from seeming weakness to unstoppable heroism. Finally, Diego exposes the corruption of Governor Alvarado, demands abdication, and rallies the caballeros and townspeople to justice. Outnumbered, outflanked, and confronted by a united force, Alvarado has no choice but to concede. Tyranny falls, the Pulidos are safe, and the people reclaim hope. Lolita, once indifferent to Diego's foppish exterior, embraces the man who proved fearless and true. The mask is gone, yet the spirit of Zorro remains eternal. The true mark of Zorro is not the Zed etched into walls and uniforms, but the courage and integrity that won hearts and justice alike. Don Diego Vega, the Fox, has returned to claim his destiny, not merely as a hero, but as a symbol, a legend whose shadow will never fade. Even as the sun rises over the valleys of California, whispers of Zorro continue to echo through the streets. The rustle of a cloak, the glint of a blade, the silent passage of a shadow. These remind all that courage, cunning, and justice remain alive. And somewhere in the darkened alleys, the fox waits, untouchable, immortal, and unforgettable.